Welcome to Block News. I'm your host Brian Brick, and tonight we're going to have a special report about women's rights during the Industrial Revolution. Let's start by talking about why so many women were moving to the cities from their homes in the country. Here's an interview Kim Blockington did.
I am interviewing Miss Hannah Good here in town. Hannah, could you please tell us what it's like working in the factories?
I work at Mr. Wilson's mill. I think the youngest child is about 7. I dare say there are 20 under 9 years. It is about 5:30 by our clock at home when we go in. We come out at 7 by the mill. We never stop to take our meals, except at dinner. William Crooks is overlooker in our room. He is cross-tempered sometimes. He does not beat me, he beats the little children if they do not do their work right. I have sometimes seen the little children drop asleep or so, but not lately. If they are catched asleep they get the strap. They are always very tired at night. I can read a little, I can't write. I used to go to school before I went to the mill. I have since I am 16. Oh. My overlooker is telling me I need get back to work now.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Kim. I hope Hannah didn't get the strap from our interview with her. Noah, what do you think?
Well, Brian, I think it's because before the Industrial Revolution, all the women were working at home but they didn't get paid.
What's the Industrial Revolution?
It started when the steam engine showed people a way to do work faster and better.
Interesting. What is a steam engine?
It's an engine or motor that runs on steam, like this one.
Wow, that's impressive. How did that make work easier?
It made it possible to make machines to do things for us.
Oh.
As I was saying, all the women were working at home doing laundry, dishes, and other things like that. They didn't get paid because they didn't have jobs away from home. They were moving to the cities to get jobs at the new factories. Then they were getting money from working there. That money allowed them to buy things for themselves and not have to depend on a husband like they did before. And now they can choose if they wanted to get married or not, and if they do, they get to choose when.
Thank you, Noah. And here is a second interview with our reporter Kim Blockington.
I'm here in Lowell, Massachusetts with Sarah Bagley. Sarah, could you please tell us a little about yourself?
Well, I was born in Meredith, New Hampshire. I worked as a school teacher before I moved to Lowell in 1836.
What is your life like in Lowell?
I live in the boarding houses with lots of other women. Our housemother is in charge of the house. She is very strict and enforces the rules. The house I stay in is crowded, small, not well maintained, and not well ventilated.
Tell me about working at the mills.
75% of the employees in Lowell are women and almost 8,000 women work there.
Why are so many women working there?
Because women get paid less than half of what men get, so the factories are hiring more women to save money.
What do you do in your free time?
I don't have much free time, but when I do, I am working for The Voice.
What is The Voice?
It is a newspaper company that writes about women's conditions and rights. I am the editorial chair. What other things do you do for women's rights? I helped start the Lowell Female Labor Reform Association. We are the very first union of women, and I am the first president. We are trying to get our bosses to improve the conditions in the mills and the boarding houses.
Thank you for your time. Back to you, Brian.
Great work, Kim. It sounds like Miss Bagley has been doing lots of good work up in Massachusetts. We have footage from the convention in Seneca Falls, New York on July 19 and 20, 1848. It was the first gathering devoted to women's rights in America.
The video starts with Elizabeth Cady Stanton addressing the convention.
I want you all to know that the reason we are here today is to address the problems and unfairness of women's rights. I want to thank the Seneca County Courier for sending out our message. I'd like to read you some excerpts from my writing, The Declaration of Sentiments. When, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one portion of the family of man to assume among the people of the earth a position, different from that which they have hitherto occupied, but one to which the laws of nature, and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes that impel them to such a course. As you can see, we modeled it on the Declaration of Independence. It is our plan to have as many people sign it as we can. Later in the declaration I list wrongs against women. Here are a few examples. He has never permitted her to exercise her inalienable right to the elective franchise. He has compelled her to submit to laws, in the formation of which she had no voice. He has taken from her all right in property, even to the wages she earns.
As you saw in the video, the Seneca Falls Convention was one of the ways that women addressed the problem, which was the lack of rights for women.
When the women began working outside their homes, it led to women desiring equal rights. When others realized that they should have equal rights, they considered the idea but still didn't change their rights. So lots of women formed big groups and demanded equal rights, or they would leave their jobs. The companies couldn't afford to lose most of their workers, so they now thought about it a little more. The women continued to demand equal rights until the 19th Amendment of the United States Constitution was passed on August 26, 1920. This amendment provided full voting rights for women. Women continued to form more labor unions and fight for better working conditions and more equal rights.
That's right. I want to thank you all for watching our special on women's rights during the Industrial Revolution, and I hope you tune in on our next special, The History of Ole Kirk Christensen.